for February 8th, 2021. Right now, we have Sylvain, Jorge, and myself. My name is Caitlin, in this meeting. I wanted to kick off this meeting today by acknowledging a couple of friends of Add-ons. So I wanted to give a shout out to Tilden, Brenda, Robin D. Bieni, and Sonia Singla for their code contributions to add-ons functionality in Firefox, making it into the Firefox 86 uplift. So we really appreciate them. Thanks so much for helping keep add-ons, keeping Firefox add-ons code working great, and cleaning up a little bit of it. And we should have a blog post about what to expect in Firefox 86 coming out this week. We don't have a ton of new news in Firefox 86. It's a lot of like bug fixes. So we're gonna blog about some of the fixes that are developer facing. And then what we're thinking about doing is stopping blogging about some of these smaller, like one-off fixes on the add-ons blog and just incorporating them into the MDN release notes. So every release, MDN compiles a list of changes to Firefox that developers should be aware of. So what we think we're going to do is we're just going to start including some of those smaller one-off developer-facing changes into that note so that folks can subscribe to, or folks just know to go over and check the MDN release notes. And then when there are bigger things like, project fission, or if we're deprecating an API, or if we're introducing a new API, or if something is changing vis-a-vis manifest v3, that'll be on the add-ons blog. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to differentiate like what is worthy of splashing on the add-ons blog versus like what is just kind of like a note for folks who are interested in particular things. So anyway, if you have any thoughts about that, please feel free to let me know. I'm totally happy to hear them. This is mostly just because we've got all of our really technical folks are going to be a little bit busier coming up, and I am not as technical as our technical experts. And I want to reduce confusion when talking about API changes. So anyway, that was just a random thought. I did have a couple of things flagged for discussion and updates. The first thing is that we've seen a couple of interest from folks who are interested in applying to Outreachy coming into our projects, and that's great, and it's awesome, we love it. It doesn't look like we're going to have any add-ons projects coming up for this next Outreachy round. So Outreachy applications are going to be due February 22nd for the upcoming summer round. It doesn't look like we're going to be participating. So in that case, I would just advise applicants, if you want to participate in Outreachy with Mozilla, a couple of other Mozilla teams are going to have projects listed. When you log onto the Outreachy website and start your initial application, you'll be able to see a list of all available projects. I would definitely encourage you, if you're really passionate about Mozilla, to go find one of the other teams that is going to be running a project. Otherwise, there's going to be tons of great projects. Outreachy is a great program, and to definitely go work with some of those other folks. So the other thing I wanted to say is that we also have traditionally participated in Google Summer of Code, which is a program that actually spawned Outreachy. Outreachy focuses primarily on people who are from traditionally underrepresented groups in tech. GSOC is kind of open to everyone. We are not going to be participating, and Mozilla is not going to be participating in Google Summer of Code this year. So Outreachy, we are committed to supporting Outreachy projects. We are not going to be running any Google Summer of Code projects. So if you are interested specifically in a GSOC internship, I would encourage you to go check out the GSOC website to see who else is running internship programs. Okay, that is my intern update. We love our interns, by the way. And we want everyone to have a really good experience. Next little bit of administrivia is about MozFest 2021. It's coming up. It's going to get started on March 8th, and it's going to be virtual this year because of the pandemic and travel restrictions around that. So there's still going to be a lot of really great talks. There's still going to be a lot of breakout sessions. The add-ons team is currently putting together what we're hoping is going to be a session that will be interesting to add-on developers. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to be doing like a specific day-long workshop around MozFest like we have done in the past, but we do want to make sure that we have an opportunity to say hi to developers and provide some useful information and an opportunity to kind of talk. I know everyone on the team who has gone to MozFest in the past with kind of like the add-ons community meetup, like staff has really felt like it's an important and valuable thing for us. So we're gonna take a stab at doing this virtually. So at least with running a session where we can have some back and forth. I would encourage folks to go and get their tickets for MozFest, taking a look at some of the lineup of speakers that they're going to have on kind of the main stage in debates and dialogues. Those talks are always super interesting and fascinating. And so if that's something that you're into, if you're excited about internet health, if you're excited about the intersection of art and technology, MozFest is awesome. And I know the team is working really hard to make this event really good, considering that, you know, kind of the in-person nature of it is going to be mitigated this year. All right, any questions about MozFest or Outreachy? Or GSOC? Okay, awesome. So as an administrative note, I just want to let everybody know that this doesn't apply to you if you don't interact programmatically with the AMO API. So that's the API that interacts with addons.mozilla.org. We are deprecating version 3 of the AMO API, and we are encouraged, so that is going to be removed December 31st. So consider this the deprecation notice. We're encouraging everybody who does use or interacts with this API to just migrate their scripts to use version 4 instead. So v4 is currently frozen and stable. We are going to be updating our dependency or our dependent projects, which includes some things on the linter and in Firefox to use v4. So that's just a quick heads up. Any questions about that? Okay. This is my disclaimer that the AMO API v3 has nothing to do with Manifest v3. I know v3 makes it sound like it's related, but it's totally not. So just stating that for the record. And then I wanted to report back. So we canceled the last meeting because we were having some team planning meetings that week. So I wanted to give a quick report back on how that went. So at the end of January, the add-ons team met and we talked a little bit about some potential projects that we might want to look into for the first half of 2021. So we had a lot of really great productive conversations with the team. And we've identified a couple of projects that we want to take a look at. The one thing that we are definitely committed to for at least the first half of the year is an SEO improvement project for addons.mozilla.org. Basically, this is centered around the idea that we want to drive Firefox downloads from AMO. So what we see happen is a user will search for a particular add-on that maybe they've heard of or is recommended, and they'll see a little thing in their search that, you know, invites them to go to AMO. They'll click on it, but they'll be using a different browser. And so AMO will display a message that says, hey, do you want to download Firefox? And then the user go ahead and clicks that, they get the Firefox download. And then we have a feature called Return to AMO. So I believe how this works is that after they download Firefox, a new tab opens, taking them to the add-on listing page that they were currently looking at, and then they can complete the install and switch browsers, and then they're a new Firefox user. So return to AMO has been a pretty successful feature for us, which is awesome. So we want to continue so we want to like capitalize on that and see if we can spiff it up a little bit more to attract more users to come in. So this is going to be pretty exciting. And I think this also offers a couple of opportunities for us to try to encourage more developers of popular extensions from Chrome and other browsers to come port their extensions over to Firefox, so we can kind of widen the pool of add-ons that users are excited about that are available on Firefox. Okay, that was a lot of talking. Are there any questions? Okay, neat. So yeah, we are committed to the SEO project. So that's going to be broken down into a couple of different steps, and we're still kind of figuring out like the scope, and I think and kind of how things are going to work out. But we should be filing issues on some of the next steps for this pretty soon. We've had some conversations about some other stuff. So like we definitely want to continue to make sure that ecosystem health is good. So security is still going to be an important project going forward. Whether or not we are going to be able to invest a lot of resources into kind of like expanding our security, like doing like new fun stuff with security is kind of going to be dependent on how these scoping conversations go. But one thing that I know I was particularly interested in was kind of the idea of doing more outreach to developers to encourage them to port. So I had just some general questions for some add-on developers who are in our community. One thing that I've heard when reaching out to Chrome developers is they don't want to port because they're concerned about supporting more users on a different browser. And I haven't really dug into that, but so I just wanted to ask a general question and just ask like, what does that look like for developers? Like how much time is spent handling support requests? Is it difficult to handle support from two different browsers? I just have a couple of questions about that. So I don't want to like hone in on Sylvain because you're on the call, but if there's any initial thoughts, I would love to hear them.
No, it's all good. I don't handle support directly, so I cannot really answer your question. I never heard about other people at the company I'm working for problems regarding supporting both Firefox and Chrome and now Edge users. We don't really have problems with that. Not with the kind of extensions that we're building. I don't think so.
Okay.
Could be different for people that use specific APIs that are not 100% compatible. But besides that, to really, for us, it's just to have more users for it. So it's just a good thing for us. I don't see any problems with that for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's like API differentiation may be a pain point. Okay.
I guess it could take more time to, you need to log in to both Firefox and then Chrome stores to see the users' reviews or stuff like that. It could take a little bit more time for people that manage those kind of reviews or user requests.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of my questions is like with Chrome, like, do you get your reviews or support requests like batched in an email? I guess with support, you're still probably directed to a certain support channel as a user.
We redirect our users via emails.
Via email. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know Firefox, I think Firefox emails you when you get a review. And then we also, or sorry, Firefox AMO. And then I know that we have the support channel listing on the AMO listing page. But yeah, so time. Okay. Feel like this is a good starting point. I just had a thought and then it just escaped me. So unfortunately, I don't have enough coffee to go chase that down yet. But yeah, I could also see like time spent replying to user requests being, or like time spent on user support or bad ratings. Like I could see that being another pain point. And I think for extensions that use some sort of, this came up when I was talking to a company that was doing like a watch TV together browser extension. And they said that their server requests had tripled or something like during the initial months of the pandemic. So maybe it was around, maybe they were concerned about support requests. Like maybe they had something a little bit more involved with like server load and stuff, and they were worried about introducing another audience to that.
Could be, because they had to have good reasons besides we don't want more users, which is a little bit weird to hear. So probably, yeah, server loads or, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so for anyone who's watching the recording of this, or is watching this not on the Zoom call, feel free to reach out to me if you have any thoughts that you'd like to share about this, because this is something that I'm interested in, and if there's anything that we can do to make the load a little bit easier for developers. And then the second thing that I was kind of curious about was marketing assets for promoting your extension. I'm wondering, so we have a page on Extension Workshop that kind of talks about how you can promote your extension, and we offer a badge that you can put on your website that you can link your to your AMO listing. I'm wondering if there are other marketing assets that that would be helpful for extension developers that maybe we could help provide.
Maybe,
or if,
oh, sorry, continue.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
What about landing pages examples? Like,
oh, that's a good idea. Like how to talk about your extension on the listing page.
Yeah, or examples of a web page that you can put on your website that describe your extension, and then with some kind of a link or a way for users to go to AMO and to understand what they're doing.
Yeah. So like clicking the link.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think that folks would have any interest in any marketing assets that kind of like talk up the add-on experience in Firefox? Like, this works best in Firefox, or I'm a developer and I love Firefox.
Sure. Any particulars, like videos, or just text people giving up ideas about this? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, so we heard from Ray Hill, the developer of uBlock Origin. He's very, he goes on the record saying the uBlock origin works best on Firefox. So I'm just wondering if there's a way that we can kind of like encourage developers to share similar sentiments if they want to, or you know, I'm a developer, I love Firefox, like install this extension from Firefox. It's also totally fine if no one's into that. I'm just throwing out ideas. Okay. Okay, cool. Again, if there's any other like marketing assets for promoting extensions that folks think would be helpful that Mozilla could help supply, please feel free to reach out and let me know. I'm happy to look into it. So yeah, so those were the big parts of the discussion. I also just wanted to make a general ask for folks who are in our community to enable Vision on Nightly and report any bugs, particularly around extensions. So I know we recently had, Uri recently filed a bug about, I think, a video card performance and extensions that was impacted by Nightly. About 15% of our, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I just forgot the exact reference of that quote. But we do have some users who are using Vision right now on Nightly. We would love to increase that pool to just kind of see if there's anything that we don't know about that crops up for folks so that we can take a look into it. I think the plan is in a couple of months, we're going to start increasing the percentage of Vision being enabled by default to our Nightly population. I know the Vision folks are really concerned about accidentally breaking things in weird and very subtle ways. So I just wanted to put a call out that we would definitely love to get some more Vision users. Okay, those were all of my updates for this week. Is there anything anyone would like to add or share? Okay, very cool. If anything comes up or if there's anything that folks would like to let us know, please feel free to reach out. Totally happy to hear some feedback. Everyone, hope your week goes well, regardless of the outside weather or other crazy things in this world. And we should be seeing you again in 2 weeks. So thanks everybody for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.